We're coming back to you with part 3 of the Singleback wide trips out of the Denver Broncos playbook. We're going to be looking at the motion from left to right with the X receiver. It's only going to be a small motion. It's only going to go about 5 yards of a motion, but we're going to be able to go ahead and work some plays in it. This isn't a huge part of the series. It's only got about 6 plays that we're going to be looking at, but we can definitely use these plays to kind of give your opponent a little bit of a different look. So I did want to bring it to you. So what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and grab our base play, which is the halfback plunge. We have to be able to run the ball to be able to throw the ball. This time they're going to be coming in more of a nickel because you're not doing the tight end package that you were doing before. So the first play right here, we're going to do everything the same. We're going to go left to right with this guy right here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and keep him in there, and we're just going to run the plunge. Now here, the plunge is not going to be a home run threat. It's not going to be a huge. You're looking at 3 to 5 yards tops on this play. You're really going to read just that one guard right there, where the arrow is pointing to. Hopefully he seals the block to the right, so you can cut it back inside, because that's going to be your best success. But you're reading that guard. That's the one guy that you're running to. So that time he got it inside. We're going to go right there. Okay. So that's basically the plunge play. It's not something that we're going to work a whole lot on. I'll run it a couple times here just to show you that you can run the ball out of it, but the plunge is basically what's going to set up, the ability that you have to be able to run the ball in order to pass. So as long as he sees this motion and your opponent sees the motion and you're able to run the ball, or you're willing to run the ball is probably a better choice of words, then you can set up the pass. Okay, so basically what we're going to do here is that's the motion we're looking at, and we're going to go ahead and show a couple of the plays that we like off of it. So the first thing we're going to do is called the 4 verticals. A lot of people have run this before with a lot of success. We're going to run it a little bit differently today, just to show a different look and let your opponent see this short motion. So you're going to go from left to right with the motion right here. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to take the B, put them on a slant, and you want to put your Y on a block. Okay, so that's the setup right there. It's still got 3 of your vertical routes, but you're going to basically pinch in that X, and then you got the B basically trying to hold your linebackers to about the same depth that he's going to cross so that the A receiver can get open. So we're going to do our drop back here, and you're still looking at that A receiver, but it's going to look a little bit different than it would normally look on a 4 verticals, right? Let's move that guy over, B on the slant, Y on the block. Let's go ahead and see if we can, now that he's got better of a clean, he's got a clean release, he's going to be open right there on the left-hand side. You want to try to throw this more to the sideline so that that safety doesn't come over and have a potential knock. Oh, I don't want to. That's definitely not what I want to do. You don't want to have the safety knock the ball out of the tight end's hands because of the fact that depending on how good that guy's catching traffic is going to be. So let's move this guy over, put the Y on a block, and this is going to be your setup. So motion X to the right, Y on a block, B on a slant. And we're going to go to the A receiver here. It doesn't scream 4 verticals because of the way it is. A lot of times when you see 4 verticals, it's 4 verticals from the start. But by moving this guy from left to right, okay, now you've kind of given them, okay, what is this guy doing? By putting the B on a slant, it does not show 4 verticals, right? Because 4 verticals, everybody goes deep, and then you kind of know, cover the tight end, cover the tight end, cover the tight end. Here, it doesn't look like it, and now you're getting burnt by the tight end. Okay, so that's why we do that motion, just to kind of get things, switched up a little bit. Next play we're going to look at is going to be the PA wide receiver in, and this is another play that we're going to run a little bit differently than I've shown in past videos. But we still like to use this play in order to, have some success here. So let's do the same motion, move him from left to right. Now we're going to put the A on a flat, right? Now watch this, guys. This is more for a mobile quarterback. I can still make it happen with Matt Ryan. What you're doing is you want to shorten your throw. Okay, and I want to kind of explain this before so I can kind of give you the whys behind it before it works. You want to shorten your throw to this RB wheel route. So after you're going to cut off the play action as quick as you can, and you're going to roll to the right like a quarterback or rollout would. That DB on the above the B right now is going to follow his route. See how it's kind of a it's going to end up being a post, but it's an inside release post. He's going to follow him just enough to give the RB separation to where we can throw a bullet to the RB down the sideline and that guy never recovers. Okay, I wanted to explain to you what's going to happen before it's going to happen so you can kind of watch for it, and then I can kind of show it to you from there. So that's the components. We're going to try to throw it here. So we're going to cut it off, get around the end. At that time, I didn't get the play off the way I wanted to because I got held up, but let me show you basically a little bit better because without explaining it, let me just go ahead and run the play here. So basically it's the short motion. The short motion doesn't need to happen on this play, guys. I do it just to give them a different look so they might think that it's a different play. Cut off this, get around to the outside, and that's the play right there. Okay. I'm going to show it to you like 3 or 4 times just to show you for consistency purposes. A on a flat, move this guy to the left, from the left to right. Go ahead and cut this off, get around the edge, and you're throwing it right there. Okay, this is a cover 3 killer. It really is. You know, like I said before, I don't have to do this motion. I just threw the motion in just to keep yourself consistent with this scheme. You can run this pretty much stock, and you're able to get that throw in. If you've got a lesser cornerback, you can throw it over the top a little bit more, but I settle for the short throw. And this works really well with, you know, anyone who's got a little bit better agility than Matt Ryan. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Colin Kaepernick, you name it. I mean, anybody's better than Ryan on his feet. So if I can make this work with Ryan, you know I can make this work with any other player. See how that one's a little too close for comfort, but you can see he doesn't get back because he's kind of in between steps. He's going left, and then he's got to end up going right, and he just never gets there. So let's go ahead and see if we can get around the corner. And so that's the best of both worlds there, because I threw it better timing. So let's go ahead and show it to you, instant replay, and why this works. Okay, so I was telling you about this Jones being the inside release, right? So in our inside release goes ahead and they're in a cover 3, so Brandon Carter, number 39, has to cover his deep third of the field. Jones is in his deep third, and he's the biggest threat right now. So he has to be able to go ahead and give him some of his attention. So you see how he's getting that depth, getting that depth, getting that depth. Now he's going after him. If you see where I'm at in my process here, I'm already outside the tackle box. It's a designed rollout, and I'm throwing it on the run. See where if you look at the deep third of the field, it's usually about 2 or 3 yards to the inside of the numbers. So he's covering him, covering him, covering him until the ball's thrown. He's still in his zone. He just stopped his zone just now. And I'm throwing this ball on the run to him, and there's just no recovery. If I stay in the pocket on this play, guys, I can't throw this ball. The reason why I can't throw this ball is it's not a short throw. It's not a bullet. I need to throw this the way I throw it in order to work. This play can get stopped very easily by someone putting your defensive ends on contain. I know the ways you can stop this play. You can send a cornerback. You can do a lot of things. You send a blitz from that side. This is one of those plays where you want to run it once a game. You know, you go ahead. You're in your play. You know, say you called something else. You see cover 3. You know it's cover 3. It's obvious cover 3. Guess what's in our audibles? PA wide receiver in, right? So we call it. Then we go ahead and we say, you know what, we're going to go this motion from just to give somebody to look something. That guy has nothing to do with anything, right? He's just there to kind of throw your opponent off. You go ahead and you put the A on a flat. You get around to the side. And now you just burnt your opponent for a touchdown. Don't expect to try to do that again. it's just one of those one plays a game. If you try to do that as your base play, you're not going to have the success on it, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. But if you throw it in, or maybe throw it in twice a game, maybe one early, one late, or, you know, to give them something to think about, that is something that you definitely can get. I don't want to say a cheap touchdown, because, you know, the play was designed for you, but it is a play that you can burn them without them even knowing what just happened, right? So that's basically it. Let me show it to you without the X motioning, so you know that it does not need to happen. So, you know, you could probably do it twice in a game. That guy just got, my outside guy just got burned. My tackle just got killed, so that didn't work. Okay, so let me show it to you. So if you can do it with and without the motion, then maybe you can get your opponent to, you know, get burnt twice by it. But see how it doesn't have to work without the motion? The motion is just a decoy. So we could probably run it without the motion first, and then go ahead and come back with the motion and be able to have success with it twice in one game. So I got to get around that guy, and I was doing much more success earlier. But that you can see, if you do a quarterback contain, that will get stopped. So you want to pick and choose when you do it, so that you don't force them in quarterback contain the entire game. That time the guy stayed with it, you can just kind of throw the ball away. But if he does stay with it, this is a good knowing what to do before it happens, because I wasn't planning on the guy staying with him that time. You could always throw it to the B receiver, because if that guy stays with it, the B receiver's open. He has to make a decision on that throw. So that's what the PA wide receiver in can do for you. I know that's I put it on this part of the series because there's not a whole lot in this series with the wide receiver motion. I think it gives you a little bit of a decoy. So let's get to the next play, just so that we can, you know, continue with this series. And we're going to go ahead and look at the tight end option. And here it is, tight end option. We're going to take advantage of the C route here. We're going to move the guy from left to right. And we're going to put the A on a drag. Okay, so we're kind of basically going to go one-on-one with this X receiver. The C route does a really good job of getting... Oop, wow. Hello, Harry Melton. Henry Melton just went ahead and crushed my player here. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. With this inside, like, C route right here, because he's kind of compressed next to it, does a good job of getting flat and getting that ball right there. So you want to throw that ball, when I say flat, you want to throw it to where your receiver almost does an out route rather than a corner route. Okay, that's kind of what I mean by when I say flat. I'm not sure if I've ever explained that because I use that term a lot. And because you're almost pass leading down into the sideline when you throw it. Okay, so that's a tight end option play. Then we've got the double China play. And double China here. We've shown you how to run it a bunch of different ways with a different motion. Now we're going to put this guy here. Just having that inside post, that's all you need. You don't have to do anything else on this. That inside post will get open right in between those two linebackers, right? It's an inside that you don't have that ability to get too many of these compressed post setups. The way the A drives everybody to the right, and then we've got underneath routes. That guy's still stuck in his back pedal. That's going to be able to beat cover 2, 3, and 4. And the last play on this series, I told you it was a short series, but definitely worth still showing you, is the halfback screen. We'll have a little bit of fun with this. I personally try to sneak in Devin Hester on this play. If you've got a guy that, as a number 2, as a guy on the bench that you can sub into the number 2 receiver that's got more ability for a home run type threat, I try to sneak him in there. Hopefully nobody sees him or checking it, because it's obviously a direct tell that I'm going to try to do something with him. But I don't think people pay attention as much as you think they do as far as what players are in. So we're going to go ahead and do the same motion that we did before. We're going from left to right. Okay, on this play, we're going to go ahead and drag him. And what we're going to do is put the Y on a swing left and the RB on a streak. Okay, so that's your setup. This is going to be a screen to Hester, and we'll be able to get it here. And you want to get behind those guys and let them do the blocks for you. Okay, so that's another thing that you got to worry about on this. Move him from left to right, put him on a drag, put your Y on a swing left. And I showed you in a different video, the reason why I put the Y on the swing left is because those guys react to screens to the running back, the defensive tackles, and a lot of times it gives you more time to throw when they try to cut him off. And you just want to put the RB on a streak or a fade, doesn't matter, just as long as you run off that guy because you want him to get more depth, right? Go ahead and here, throw it to the X receiver, get behind your guys, get your caravan of blockers, and move it up the field. So we'll show it one more time before we make this series a wrap. And move it up there, put your RB on a streak, Y on a swing, and we're going to go ahead, get behind them. And that time got caught up a little bit, but you're still getting your 10 yards. So, alright guys, I do appreciate you taking a look at these videos today. This is the part 3 of the Denver Broncos playbook, single back Y trips. Going to hopefully end up here with a big touchdown play to Devin Hester. Let's go. And no, didn't gonna happen today. But do appreciate you guys coming out and watching this, and hopefully stay